Picture this. You are a small team. Or maybe not even a team, just you. Your budget is tight, the market's been explored, mapped and claimed. And your competitors are giants. And yet somehow your tool becomes the new industry standard. And everybody, even UI designers like me, are starting to make videos about you. And this one is about not just another update, rather an agency owner point of view or an effort to analyze how to build a successful product. We are witnessing a self-occupied to boutique design philosophy in action, where every control is crafted with care and every pixel means something. There was no marketing team behind it, there was just a musician, designer and developer, and each from totally different worlds, but with one shared question: how to make a great product intuitive that you get it from a very first click. And in this video, we'll break down the formula that turned that small name into a legendary one. And we're starting with the element number 1, people. Every technology breakthrough is never just about machines or technology. It's about people behind them. Take Xfer, for example. It's not just a developer. It's Steve Duda, a musician, engineer, former member of Nine Inch Nails, and the guy who dreamed of building his own synth of all synths. He still answers emails personally. And it's not just people drive innovation. It's every company is made of people. Even the biggest dream needs partners, especially those dreams that start growing from zero to hero and things get more complex. Deadmau5, the producer behind Helmet and Hits, helped launch Xfer. He handled visibility, funding when it mattered the most. And the visual language, that was Lance Thackeray. If you ever opened Serum and wow, that felt great, that was him. So, what we can take from that? When I started my team, I was obsessed with business models and process, and I quickly realized there are 2 core functions that must exist for every business to grow: product development and sales. Everything else, finance, legal, coordination helps, but they don't replace the core. And when all of that falls on one person's shoulders, that's where many companies stay small. Because building a system is harder than just building a product. And as a person who's been on all those steps of corporate ladder, I know what I'm talking about. The formula of Xfer worked because everyone played their role. And if it was a conscious decision by Steve, well, I applaud him twice over. In my case, it was pretty similar. My partner took the product lead, I focused on sales and brand, and of course, together we built something way bigger than either of us could have done. Second element of successful product formula: technology. Yeah, obviously. Ideas without execution, just dreams. And with Serum, what Serum did was to take complex wavetable synthesis and make it accessible. And more than that, make it visual. The animated waves, the LFOs, it's basically a real-time mini course in synthesis. And sure, the idea isn't entirely new. Fairlight had this back then, those graphical oscilloscopes, but this is modern, responsive, clean, and cheaper than Fairlight. So Serum 2 didn't just break the architecture, it evolved it. A third oscillator, granular and spectral modes, a clip sequencer, custom LFO shapes, none of that wow features for the sake of headlines. It was based on what the community had been asking for years. Technology isn't about doing what others did. It's about doing it better. So when you're building your own product, ask yourself, am I creating something new or repeating what already exists? Or as they say in Hollywood, same thing but with a twist. And mind that both answers are correct. By the way, Serum 2 is now optimized for modern processors including Apple M2. That's the kind of invisible work no one sees, but it's crucial for staying competitive. And from marketing point of view, this product update with new design and new tech is really smart. Perfect timing, by the way. And the third element, obviously, is time. Serum 2 took over 10 years to build. As Steve Duda himself said, it took a long time, way longer than it should have. But I didn't want to break what was already working. Yep, good words. And that doesn't just apply to code. Designing even a small synth interface, we can easily spend around 300 hours and just on what you see. What you don't see is hidden in all those micro iterations, user tests, endless decisions to make complex things feel simple. So the real question isn't how much time you have. It's, will you give yourself a permission to do it properly and to allow it to take as long as it needed, and obviously the budget. Competition. When Serum 1 came out, the market looked completely different. Well, the expectations were low. Usability wasn't that good as now. And that's exactly why Serum 1 felt like a breakthrough. It combined powerful sound with visual clarity, while today's competition is insane. And that's a good thing, because it forces us to choose design strategy wisely. Go radically different, stay familiar, or evolve just enough, like Serum 2 did. Fun fact, for years, Serum 1 lived in our personal art directors folder as a reference for timeless style. And that says everything. Success isn't just about looking trendy, it's about looking right even a decade later. So, the fifth element is strategy and product evolution. In design, well, like just in marketing, there's always a choice. You can scrap everything and reinvent from scratch, or you can stay inside a familiar framework and make it more refined, more usable, more you. That's not fear of change, that's strategy. Serum 2 didn't reboot itself, it built on what already worked, and that's exactly what built trust. And if you open the plugin, it feels like home. Yeah, it's Serum. Arturia took a similar path with pigments. Yes, the layout changed a bit with version 5, but the overall vibe, the UX, the visual rhythm, still recognizably pigments. That continuity makes upgrades feel like progress. Now look at Massive X. They went full redesign. And while it's technically powerful, maybe more powerful, it lost a chunk of its user base, well, because for many people it meant starting from zero again. Serum 2, on the other hand, is what I'd call a shockless redesign. New oscillators, granular and spectral modes, a proper arpeggiator, a clip sequencer, improved mixer, visual clarity, smoother drag and drop, all added. Yeah, but nothing's lost. And as a designer, that is the hardest thing to pull off. Not changing everything to impress, but changing just enough so your user suddenly realizes they are working faster, smoother, deeper, without even noticing why. Element number 6, marketing and community. Have you noticed how Serum 2 marketed? There was no huge campaign behind Serum 2, behind the update. No dramatic teaser, trailers, no paid ads, Skrillex, Dad, Deadmau5. They were all in instantly. But more importantly, the users themselves started spreading the word. That's what happens when you build real relationship. This isn't a CRM, it's community. And yes, you can build that level of trust. So, is Serum 2 a success? It's not just about features, it's about this: people, technology, time, strategy, and trust. That's the complex formula. And it works because every element was created with deep understanding, hopefully, who is it for and why it matters. You know why I share some insights like this with you? Because I believe that design isn't just about making things pretty. I used to believe so. It's a choice. Design is a choice that can shape a product's future and can make people love things and create it either with clarity or intention or without even understanding why it happens so. So, if this video made you look at your product even slightly differently, then I guess I've made my job and we are already on the same team. And I'm curious, what would you do with your cash cow product? Keep the style, flip it completely, or like I said, make the same thing but was just a little different? Let me know in the comments. And until the next time,